from Richmond City for his comments, and we've had numerous conversations over the past couple of weeks, and it has come to my attention that I need to clarify some of the events and some of the statements from Wednesday, January the 6th, when there was a big rally at the Capitol. Mr. President, many of us in this body have participated in protests and rallies. I'm not alone. We cannot control, as legislators, what occurs at that event. It would be no different than going to a concert in which someone was injured and say that everyone there was responsible. Mr. President, whenever I attended the events that occurred on Wednesday, January the 6th, I want to point out a couple of different things. Number one, there were a number of rallies that occurred that day, not just the one at the Capitol. There was one in the morning at 10 a.m., which is the one in which I spoke. Not one word was mentioned about storming the Capitol. Every last word was about in protecting the integrity of every vote. We then would walk over from the Capitol over to a separate location at 11 o'clock where we were near the Washington Monument, a completely separate location from the Capitol. I got there late. Hundreds of thousands of people were gathered, and that's where I took a video surveillance of the crowds assembling, waiting to hear President Trump speak. And had Facebook not censored me, you could go to my Senator Amanda Chase Facebook page and see the hundreds of thousands of people I call patriots standing there peacefully, waiting to hear the president speak. These people love their country, Mr. President, just like I do. They love freedom. They love the Constitution. And they were there one last time to peacefully assemble, as the First Amendment guarantees, that is the way that we as the people are supposed to express our grievances to our government. I left before the president finished speaking, quite honestly, so I wouldn't get crushed by the masses as they were exiting. As we were leaving to go back to our vehicle and back to the hotel, there was a man with a megaphone that entered the street and started yelling, "F Trump, F Trump." The police on bicycles, there were probably about 12 of them, broke right in front of us on the street and interrupted our departure from the event. We didn't know what was going on, Mr. President, but we knew it wasn't good. We actually picked up and actually started running to the car because we weren't sure what was happening. My whole goal was to assemble peacefully and to express peacefully that I objected to the election results, which is my right under the First Amendment. Does not mean I'm calling for an insurrection, and you can see from my results, I have not come in here storming the Senate of Virginia in any type of insurrection type behavior. That's ludicrous. Mr. President, when I got back to the hotel room and saw what was happening before my eyes on the TV screen, I was horrified. Completely horrified. We didn't know exactly what was happening, but we knew that it wasn't good. And my security team correctly made the decision that it was time for me to leave. Minutes later, the mayor would announce a curfew that would go into effect from 6 p.m. until 7 a.m. the next morning. I was leaving the Capitol when all this was unraveling, and I was not there. Mr. President, none of us at that moment knew the tragic, horrific incidences that were taking place, either in the three videos that I did earlier in the day when things were peaceful, things were fine. My references were all to the peaceful protesters, not these other groups that invaded our Capitol that day. I've openly condemned the actions of those who have done that. And I will say it again today that I condemn violence that occurred at the Capitol. And I'll tell you what doesn't help is when we have reporters like Michael Pope from WVTF, who after numerous discussions with him till 10 o'clock at night, in which I said, I never called the people who stormed the Capitol patriots. He wasn't there, but he insisted on promoting that narrative. And I will tell you, we have to hold our media accountable. They are many of them, not all, but there are some reporters that are giving all of our reporters a bad name. Not all. So, Mr. President, I would like to let the body know that I protect every last one of your, going forward, if you decide to participate in a rally or a protest and something happens, as it happened to the senator from Portsmouth, I didn't file a censure for you. And I'd ask you not do the same for me. We should be able to exercise our First Amendment right to speak, but with that I will also say there is a responsibility because words do matter. And if I have offended any of you in this room, because I am very passionate about the Constitution, I apologize. I think something that would be helpful to me as a legislator is to have everyone's cell phone numbers on this floor so that when we have conflict that arises, that we can talk to each other directly instead of in a public forum. I'm thankful for the conversations that I've had with the patron of this bill, where we were able to sit down and have good discourse and clarification of comments, which I wish we had been able to do a long time ago. No one in this room is perfect, not even myself. We've all said things in the heat and the passion of moment that we have all regretted. And the last time I checked, there was only one person that walked the face of this earth that was perfect. And that person is not me. So I wish you guys the best weekend ever. I really would like to focus on the business that's set before this body. I'm honestly kind of tired of all the press phone calls, believe it or not. I know y'all are shocked. But I would like to focus on the business of the people. And for me personally, I would like to put this behind us and move forward in a constructive, positive manner in which we are focused on the work of the people and not that of each other. Thank you, Mr. President.